Bo Nix playing in his first NFL game. We'll see him taking over late in the first quarter. At this point, the Broncos trailed 3-0, and Nix dropping back. He finds Cortland Sutton here, Dan. That's promising early on for him.
That's a really difficult throw as well. I love the hang in the pocket, then move on his full speed to his left, essentially across his body was fantastic. And you saw his athleticism both in scramble mode like this one and then some of those designed runs that you're going to see here with Sean Payton, which really isn't part of his offensive game plan unless he was using Taysom Hill back in his New Orleans days.
Yeah, a couple of those too. Key third down conversions for Nix. This is later in the drive, 3rd and goal, and hitting Marvin Mims Jr. for the 1-yard touchdown pass. The Broncos now lead 10-3, and Nix is looking good. Early third quarter, Broncos now leading 13-10, delivering that quick throw to David Sills.
Yeah, a really big part of the game plan. It's a little bit of Sean Payton's thing, is getting the ball out, getting the man coverage. They're going to pick the linebacker at the bottom of the screen, and he finds a wide open tailback. Every part of the game between coach and player were very impressive.
Here's Nix after the game.
I could tell it was a little bit faster. It was definitely more professional. I mean, the guys are in the right spots. They're disguising. They're doing well. They're where they're supposed to be. But, I felt very, calm and relaxed back there. It was just a game. They were still in cover 3 and quarters. And, man, I mean, it's the same defense. And so you just got to figure out which one they're in and then execute the play that's called. But I thought we did a great job with our play calls today. We stayed in rhythm. We ran the ball efficiently, and that's always nice. And so overall, it was a very productive day.
Okay, I know it's just the preseason, but he honestly looked really calm and comfortable like he's talking about. Did you like what you saw from him yesterday?
Yeah, and I'll use the word that he just talked about right there, rhythm. I mean, that was the overwhelming thing when you watch that game was he was in rhythm, and in this offense, when the quarterback is in rhythm, the offense is in rhythm, and that's why the playbook felt so open for Sean Payton. The ball came out really quickly. You see Bo Nix, 21 pass attempts, 19 of those happened in under 4 seconds. So the big part of the design was making sure that the ball was coming out. They ran the football relatively efficiently, and they spread it out to the perimeter. Now, I would caution him by saying, yeah, they're basically in cover 3 quarters. You just got to figure out. You're going to see a little bit more nuance than you get into the regular season. When they drafted him, I felt he would be the day 1 starter. It only gets solidified by that week 1 performance, and I don't expect it to drop off going into week 2.
Yeah, I think you saw everything you'd want to see out of a rookie quarterback in a new offense, which is an offense built on his strengths. And those strengths were the same ones we saw in college, that lightning quick release, the accuracy in the short intermediate parts of the field, the ability to throw on the move. That was all baked into the offense. Dan pointed out some of the concepts. This is, a different offense from what we've seen at times with Sean Payton. Obviously, there's that design quarterback run game, the RPOs, but I expected that out of Sean Payton because we have seen him alter his offense to fit the skills of different quarterbacks. Bo Nix is not Drew Brees. They're extremely different. Sean Payton knows that. I think what we saw, immediately in preseason and all of that is a coach who knows what his quarterback does well and is going to call an offense this year that's catered to his skill set.
Well, fortunately enough, Mina, to your point, he can be a 2-in-1 guy. And you and Dan alluded to it. The fact that he can have RPO and zone read in this offense, but still feel comfortable enough to put Bo in rhythm. And then you start talking about this run game as well. I think he adds to their ability, especially with Williams and McLaughlin in the backfield. We saw them have some nice runs in that scheme. But I think Bo Nix is a great pair for Sean Payton. We deem Sean Payton as a quarterback whisperer. When we were talking about when he was on TV broadcasting, what job would he get and what quarterback play would he elevate no matter what team he went to. Now he has a rookie that he's been able to draft, and he's able to do things that he did with Drew Brees, but also did with Taysom Hill without interchanging those guys coming in and out of the game. The athleticism just adds, but I think Sean will be cautious about it.
Talked about this before, but it's worth repeating right now. It wasn't like they were sitting at number 12 and all these quarterbacks went in front of them and then they felt like, oh, let's go settle in on Bo Nix. Bo Nix was the guy that Sean Payton was after the whole time. Sean Payton was mesmerized by his skill set. And this was a guy that essentially the Broncos were hoping were going to get to him. They considered even trading up to secure his services. And because of all those factors, it always felt like it was going to be Bo Nix's job to lose this summer. Well, if you're going to go out and throw 15 to 21, throw for a touchdown, lead 4 scoring drives. That's not losing that job. That's winning that job. And he has to lose that job, which he certainly didn't do in the first preseason game before he gets the chance to start the second preseason game.
Yeah, I think Mina brings up a big point and a good point when it comes to Sean Payton and the way that he kind of diversifies the offense to the quarterback. The ability for Bo to operate as many RPOs as he's capable of, and we saw a decent amount of them yesterday, it helps not only the quarterback, but all of the offense.
Yeah.
And I don't think that he would be able to do that with other guys, MK, you know, and for an offensive line that's not dominant, it's going to help them. For the receivers that aren't dominant, it'll help them.
Dan, only rookie quarterback to start for the Broncos in a season opener was who?
Jay Cutler?
John Elway, 1983. We're just getting started on it.